Hi, my name is Matthew, and I'm here with,
Sleepy Saint.
and we're about to dish. Sleepy Saint, how do I know you?
Um, hmm. I believe we met in junior high. You were a Roosevelt Rough Rider. I was a Keith Ram in the great city of Altoona.
I have to ask you about this hat because I love it, and it's meaningful to me. Maybe not all the viewers would know what that means. Explain a little bit about that.
This hat is actually a former pro baseball team from Altoona called the Altoona Rail Kings.
And if I could just go buy Altoona Rail Kings apparel, I would be fully decked out. It's such a throwback that not everyone knows about that it's like cool. So get your Rail Kings stuff wherever you can. So just talking about your music, a rapper, a musician, what do you call yourself?
I tend to call myself a music artist. Mostly my verses are hip hop, but I do an R&B type thing. I think I have some soul to me, and I don't want to be categorized into just this type of music or that type of music. I just want people to recognize me as a music artist.
When did you ever have a moment where you were trying things out where it was like an aha moment where you're like, oh wow, I'm actually talented at this. Like I could do something with this.
Yeah, when I was in college, there was an app for the iPhone, and it was called IMT Pain, which is it'll auto tune your voice, and you can do like T Pain songs. You can buy different beats and put them on there and record yourself. So I used to turn the auto. You could turn the auto tune off, and I was able to like plug them into aux cords at parties and stuff, and play them for people and play them for my friends. And some of my roommates, if they're watching this, I mean, they're probably cracking up right now because like they might have just been blowing smoke, but like they tend to really like, they're like, yo, play that song. And from there I was like, maybe I got something.
For a lot of people that have done great things, you often hear this story that it's like they were the only person that believed in themselves before anyone else did. How did you get the confidence to start out and just keep performing and like sticking to it?
it's very it's very hard to find the confidence, especially in something you haven't done, or people don't know that side of you, and you don't know how people are going to receive it. Some people thought I was crazy, like legit. Like they were like, yo, that kid's lost his mind. He thinks he's a rapper now. Like, good God. Once I started doing um, the songs, like taking it serious and putting some heart into it, I did it in front of somebody that was a music engineer, and he was like, I'm not gonna lie, like that was really good, and he bought in, to what I was doing, and he's like, I'll record you.
Are you a fan of basketball?
Yes, huge fan. Played my whole life, dedicated my whole life to basketball. Um, my dad had me, up at 6 in the morning before school days, going to shoot like 500 shots before I went to school. Like, I mean, that was my life, but I'm only like 5'8", so.
If you're at home watching basketball highlights, what players from present or past are you like you love watching their highlights?
Watch Vince Carter dunk on people all day. I love watching MJ. I mean, his highlights, they literally make your jaw drop in some of them.
You know what sucks though is like some of these guys were sick from the 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, but just like the 24-hour news cycle wasn't there. There weren't as many cameras at the game, so you don't get to see it in HD like we see all these guys now.
Pistol Pete, shout out Pistol Pete, man. Pistol Pete was one of those guys that if you put him, you had a highlight tape of him today and showed it to people, they wouldn't believe he's from that era. He was the real deal.
Also, shout out to Mike Izzolino. He he was in the video game.
Quick story about Mike. When I was in high school, he was back in Altoona, and I trained with him all summer with the legend Mike Izzolino, and like he probably missed, and I'm not exaggerating this. He probably missed like 11 shots out of the whole summer. He would make 50 shots in a row.
Just like a fundamentally sound
Yeah.
guy.
And yeah, and then we play one-on-one at the end, and I've never played against I've never been able to like not do anything. Like I couldn't even put the ball on the floor. That was a wake-up call. I was like, there's no way I'm playing anywhere past high school because this guy is the real deal, and he was only in the league for a little bit and whatnot, but he was.
And how old would he would have been maybe like 40s at this point?
Yeah, like he just retired from Europe. He was a European champion and stuff too. So like, I mean, that's no slouch, like to go over there and play for as long as he had a full career over there. So he was probably like 40s, mid 40s, and was just, I mean, he was unconscious.
Is there one spot for food in Altoona that you would put above every other spot?
Oh my gosh. I love food. I like Mike's Court a lot. I think it's just because I love Mike so much, Like he's one of those guys that he's out there in the mix, like bringing you beer, taking your order, saying what's up, And it's like it's a cool little sports themed bar. So he's got some bomb food, his roast beef. Shout out Mike's Court. I like Mama Randazzo's too and Nardo's Cafe. I gotta give a couple of them a shout out.
I love them all, especially Mama Randazzo's because we're family friends with them. But Mike at Mike's Court, he understands what a neighborhood bar should be. Yeah. It's very personable. You feel comfortable when you're there, and yeah, it's great. Of all the things that you do, is there one hobby that you have, or is there something that makes you really nerdy?
What a lot of people make fun of me about, I am a gigantic WWE fan.
I think I knew this about you, but yeah, how big of a fan?
I've gone to Monday Night Raw. I went to a wrestling event here in Altoona where you could sign autographs and stuff. You had to pay like $20 per person, per wrestler. I splurged probably like $160 that night. Yeah, I know. Trying to meet like childhood wrestlers, like most kids like comic books, Superman, all that stuff. I was never really into that stuff. I was into wrestling, and those were my superheroes to me because I thought it was real, and they came out, and I thought they were really who they said they were. I really thought the Undertaker like dug up graves and stuff like that. So that's probably my biggest geek thing is like I watch Raw every Monday, I watch SmackDown every Tuesday, I watch every pay-per-view. Like I'm into it.
Is there anything that you can plug?
I like to plug sleepysaint.com. That's the easiest way for me to reach out to people to come in and get to know me. Head there. I have a new album out, The Dash. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary for it actually, which is pretty crazy. It's an album about life and death, and the whole album together as a project. It's a good listen through because it was strategically pieced together to talk about different feelings and stuff like that come with life.
This has been an interview. This has been an interview with
Sleepy Saint.
How'd you think this went?
Very good. There were great questions. You really dived into some personal stuff and some personal opinions. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. Be well, everyone.
Welcome to Dishin with Sleepy Saint. So, all right, what's your favorite food?
I'm going to say fish tacos. Tempura fried white fish with like a sriracha mayonnaise, cabbage slaw on top, cilantro, lime. Love it.
Okay, now what's your favorite beer?
Favorite beer, wow. I would say Bell's Two Hearted.
So, this brings me to the actual question. You had to give up one of them forever. Which one are you giving up?
The beer. And here's why. We are here in a craft beer revolution, so I can find so many different things that are interesting. Whereas fish tacos, that's just like something I dream about